Yes? All right, so we have a column matrix that has one column. There's a row matrix. It has one row. And there's a square matrix that is in the shape of a special rectangle where the rows and columns are the same. Those are all square matrices there. Their dimensions 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, and 4 by 4. There's a zero matrix. Now, the number 0 is important in a lot of math because there's special things that happen when you multiply by 0. There's special things that happen when you add by 0. Now, when we get into the properties of how we add and multiply matrices and we want certain things to hold true, then our 0 property becomes important. So we want matrices where you add 0 to make no difference. Then we have to make a 0 matrix where all the elements are equal to 0. So it's not just one 0, but there could be a 3 by 2 0 matrix where all the elements are equal to 0. There's also a very important number. Have you ever heard of 1 being called identity? Have you ever heard of it referred to as that? In that it's important with 1 too, because when you multiply by 1, nothing really happens. So we're going to want that same kind of idea to happen with matrices. So when you multiply by 1, nothing happens, and that's called the identity matrix, and it's not just all 1s. It only has 1s on the diagonal, and all the other ones are equal to 0. All right. Just a little puzzle in between. I don't know if you've ever seen this puzzle before, but it's just for fun. How many people have seen this puzzle where you have to draw 4 lines without lifting your pencil and connect all the dots? Do you know that one? The other puzzle I can do with these 9 dots is, can you draw 2 squares? Imagine these dots are little animals. Let's pick nice little animals. Dogs? Well, I want the same kind of animal just because they're all green dots, so that, because they do look all the same right now. They're all dogs? Frogs. They're all frogs. I like it. Okay, now these are ravenous frogs that eat each other if left alone. So you need to, they're in this square pen right now. And you have to use 2 more squares for fencing so that no 2 frogs are in the same pen. You can use as big or small square as you'd like. So for example, you could make 1 square like this and another square like this. Is not very good square. That wouldn't be so good because then only this frog wouldn't eat anybody. These 2 frogs would kill each other. And people, because they get big enough to get out once the victor or whatever. So this wouldn't be a very good strategy. So you have to draw 2 squares and separate all of the frogs into their own pens. Squares. They have to be squares. Yeah. So those are the solutions. I know that if you don't have the solutions for how to do that, that can like drive you crazy and not make you focus for the rest of the class. So let's keep going. All right, so transpose, another definition. You just take a matrix and you change all the rows and columns, and then you write it with little t. So if we've got this matrix here, we can take it and make the transpose. It was a 4 by 2. You now make it a 2 by 4. 4, 3, 2, -1, -1, 4, 5, 7. So whatever was in the first column becomes the first row. And whatever is in the second column becomes the second row. GT, ABC, FED.